Hi, I'm Derek Chan, and this is my film festival project talking about how we make energy and how it can affect our Earth. First off, we have nuclear energy, and that uses uranium to heat up cell cores, and then uses that heat to change water into steam, which turns the turbine, which turns into energy. Next up, we have solar energy, which uses solar panels that absorb the sun's sunlight and makes it into energy. Now we have wind energy, which uses the wind to turn turbines, which generate energy with the motor inside the turbine. And next up we have coal, which are mined from caves or underground, which are fossil fuels that can be made into steel or burned into energy. And next up we have natural gas. This gas can be used to cook, make energy, heat up furnaces, and heating homes. Now with petroleum or crude oil, this can be made into gasoline for powering cars, made into jet fuel, and making plastic. Now we will talk more in depth about each and all the energy sources there are out there, including the pros and cons and a little picture of it. Now we have benefits of using nuclear energy. One of the major pros of using nuclear energy is that it doesn't release any greenhouse gases and is very efficient. The cons of using nuclear energy as your power source is that one, it requires a very rare element on Earth called uranium, and second of all, if it ever leaks in the fuel cells, it will release a very harmful substance. Next up, we have the benefits of using solar energy. In order to use solar energy, you need to install solar panels. These solar panels are there to collect the sunlight and to generate into energy. The pros and cons about solar energy is that one of the pros are that it's renewable and is very environmentally safe. And also, solar panels does not release any greenhouse gases. The cons, however, is that this solar panel requires silicon to make, and it's somewhat expensive. And just for a fun fact, it requires a laser drill to make, so it cuts the board, the reactant inside very thin, so it reacts very well. Now we have wind energy. The pros and cons of wind energy is that on the con side, it requires a very large piece of land to make, and also it is very inefficient. On the pro side, however, it does not release any greenhouse gases, and it's very much renewable. So now we have coal, which is a fossil fuel type of energy. You obtain coal by mining underground, and you can burn it and make steel, energy, and other things with it. And now the cons of using coal energy. You probably all heard of this one. It releases a lot of CO2 into the atmosphere, which can cause into global warming. Here are the pros and cons about coal. The pros is that it is very abundant in nature. That means it's really easily to find. Second of all, it's really reliable because we have been using it for several years now, some hundreds of years. And lastly, it's very cheap. It's relatively cheap. It's not like super cheap, but now we have the benefits of natural gas. This gas is obtained underground as a gas form. This gas can be burned for cooking purposes, so to help light the fire. It can be used in industrial furnaces. It can be used for energy, and it can be used for heating homes. And now the pros and cons of using natural gas. The cons of using natural gas is that when you burn it, it emits CO2 into the atmosphere. It is not safe for the environment, and it is not renewable, and it also is hard to harvest because it's in a gas form and it's really easily ignited and blown up. And the pros for natural gas is pretty reliable because we've been using it again for lots of time now. And also the second pro is that it is It's kind of efficient. It's not like the most efficient fuel type there is. And lastly, we have benefits of using petroleum or crude oil. This petroleum can be used to make gasoline, the stuff that powers your cars, jet fuel, and also plastic. The pros of using petroleum as your energy source is one, it's reliable. Again, we've been using it for really long time now. And second of all, it's pretty efficient. Um, Crude oil does have a very strong power source inside of it, and the cons of this is crude oil is not reliable. You have to wait until the fossil die and then decompose, and then wait millions of years for fossil fuel to generate, and it is not environmentally safe. It releases CO2 into the air. And that's it. That's my whole project on how we make energy on Earth and the pros and cons about it.